Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical. This is Mystical Gaming. We're jumping into stage 6 of the new Ashes to Ashes series. We'll try and do stage 7 tomorrow. I didn't find this easy, if I'm honest. There's a couple of little things you can do and change about, and we'll discuss some other heroes as well as we go through, okay? But let's jump into stage 6. I'll give you a show over what I've done, how I've done it, and we'll look at the gear and other heroes you can use as well, okay? Right, let's jump into it. Okay, so this is the team I've gone with. I've gone with an Archer Lord. That's great. If you've got another one, go and use that. Silas, absolutely fantastic. Talion, mostly an Archer comp, but I think it's probably better we discuss it as we go through, and we'll see what heroes we're using where and that sort of thing as we go through it. Now, again, like I say, it's not easy, and my BP does over exaggerate what's required. So I think there is some wriggle room on how much you need and where you use it from. Okay, so the first person up I put up is Ivar. I take him down to take out the right hand side. Okay, now there's a couple of things. He's taken out the two mobs on the right hand side. Going to take those out. Now in my spare time I use Talion. I use her a lot, and it's a bit of a showcase for her as well as some other heroes. So she's very versatile, so we can put her up on the platform on the top left, so to speak, okay, and she can start attacking the mobs coming down. Okay, she's nice out of range there. We can use her, and when Ivar's done with that mob on the right hand side, we can withdraw him, and then we're going to place our Silas up there. And in the meantime, Talion, she's got her ultimate coming off. Remember, there's a banner for her this weekend as well if you want. There's Ivar done. Get rid of him, put Silas up. Now Silas can carry on DPS in those mobs. Now the good thing about doing this, there's a couple of things we can do now. I just pause it there. So we can already place our next hero down is going to be Hex. He's going to go on that. He's going to go to the right of Silas, facing the right as well. Now we can place him down now. There's no great shakes when you place him down. The advantage of doing it this way round is the Talion and then Silas second is the fact those mobs coming round, if she misses any, they come up and then they come in range of Silas. Okay, so just sort of bear that in mind when you're sort of planning your routes out. It doesn't have to be Silas there. I mean, it can be anyone, as long as they clear out those two mobs in time. Okay, so we trigger off Silas's ultimate, no great shakes, and then we get rid of that one, get rid of the second one, and then we're in a good place for any of those mobs that come up. There they go, they come up, and we can get off these last two. Okay, and like I said, we could have placed Hex down at any time. We're going to place him down in a minute, but it makes no great odds. What will happen is there's four mobs that then come down. Okay, now quick thing to discuss about these four mobs: you can't hit them, you can't target them. All they're going to do is fly to the exit, but they do count as 4 for you. So we're on 11 out of 72, and we still got 3 mobs that we are allowed to escape out if we want to complete the run. Okay, so we're still there with that, with regards to that, to be honest. Okay, right. So let's just push on with this then. So there's the 4 mobs that are coming out. They will do damage to you. Now, Hex is in a good spot because of the way he takes damage. So he'll take a small amount of damage. He'll go invisible and put a shield up. But if you've got anyone else, you can put them down there as long as they can take 1 hit. And they should be able to take 1 hit from these mobs anyway. So there's their timer. I wouldn't worry about them. Just, I take the damage from them. They fly past and then they fly out. And that's it, done. As soon as they've gone past, I place Acheron down. Acheron comes down. Now, I place him down as early as possible, just so I can start building up his ultimate. I might be able to place him and Yuguri around the other way, but I've gone this way round. It makes no great shakes. Now, they do the same thing. They get rid of all these mobs for me, but slightly differently. So, I've got to hit her ultimate rather soon, because I have to get round to 2 ultimates. Whereas Acheron's ultimate I hit much later because I want to get round to it a second time. So if I have a look at the mob here, this mob here, just here, I'm going to wait until that timer is about 75% gone. I want that last quarter left, okay? And then I'm going to trigger Acheron's ultimate. I'd have to leave it a little bit later, but I've got his artifact, which gives me a bit longer with his ultimate. So have a check to see how you do. And that's to give me enough time with his ultimate and for the next pair of mobs to come on to kill. Whereas Yagiri on the other side, I can trigger hers off soon, and then her ultimate will be ready the next set of mobs that come round, and then she can kill them all off, okay? I placed Talion down this time. This time I'm using her as a tank. I just wanted to sort of showcase she can be used on the platform as a tank. Now she's a bit risky as a tank. You rely on that knockback, but we'll discuss a little trick that we're using to get round and make some of the RNG come our way, okay? So we're just waiting on our timer coming down. When we hit that last 25%, there we go. We can trigger off Setram's ultimate, and then we can start we can start killing those mobs down, okay? There we can see at the top now we've got some mobs coming around, but they're going into Talion. That's not an issue. Our second set of mobs have also come on the right hand side, and we're just waiting for her to build up her next ultimate. We'll trigger that off, and that will get rid of everyone for us. Now Setram, he's always killed off our mobs. When he's killed them off, we get rid of them. We then place down our Silas. Our Silas is back to his spot again. We're going to place him down there. Now, the thing that's going to happen is Talion then going to do some swipes, and she might knock someone from the lane she's in out. That's why she's a bit risky, okay? But with Silas there going that way, he will pick off any of the others that get knocked into that lane. So they get knocked out of the lane they are in into his. So that's how we sort of cover that off, okay? I don't know if it happens this run or not. She's just had her ultimate come up, boom, boom, we can finish off those, and when they're finished off, we can recall her as well. Recall Talion, mostly just to allow us for a bit of healing. You could leave it down. You could leave Talion down, absolutely no worries. Placing Hex down, I'm placing my next healer down. You can use any healer there that you like. You want one with plenty of width. Now I've placed Aelin down very early. You don't have to place your other healer down that early by any stretch of the imagination. I do it because she goes invisible after 45 seconds. So I've just given her plenty of time, and she only costs 6, and we've already got 82 left. Absolutely no worries whatsoever. The next way we're going to get rid of the mobs coming around, this time we're going to use fighter. Depending on what fighter you use, who's got range, depends on when you have to put them down. You could have put them down a lot earlier. If you've got one that you want to build up the ultimate, maybe you're using like a Lord Phineas, something like that, and you might want to place down the ultimate a bit earlier, or place them down a bit earlier to build up to their ultimate. I'm using Xena because someone on, when I did a summoning video, said, oh, I got Xena as well, but you look much happier. Why were you happy to get her? Now this is one of the reasons I'm happy to get her. So if we have a look at her now, we can take her out and put her down, and she just obliterates stuff. There she is down now, and she would just absolutely screams, absolutely no issues whatsoever. And there is enough time. You could call her back, wait for the next set to come through. Instead of using Talion, you could have used her twice. But I wanted to sort of showcase different methods on putting like a marksman down there, or putting a tank down there with maybe a fighter behind them, or just a straight fighter. Now, we've got 2 mobs now arriving on the left and the right. So we've already got a Silas down, we've got a Hex down. It doesn't matter who you're using. You want an Archer Lord, a Piercer Lord, sorry, to get that length that you need to cover these 2 off, at least using this method, okay? So I've got enough range now to take out these 2. Now they will arrive 3 times. When we've had 3 of them gone through, or we've killed 3 of them off on each side, 6 in total, we can then remove them and replace them with other heroes, okay? So that's sort of our count on where we're looking at. Now the issue with this part is we get these mobs come flying down all the time, and they do a bit of damage to us, then we've got to heal up. So I've removed people where I can, just to give my healers, make my healer's life a little bit easier, okay? That's essentially it. So there's another set coming down, and of course they take some damage. You've got to heal them up, make your healer's life a little bit easier, and I've removed the tanks or the blockers I'm using down there. Now 2 different methods of doing the bottom. I'm using Talion again. I'm using her out, and she's coming across, and then I'm using an Olag on the other side because he's almost invincible, okay? So there are 2 different methods there. Now Talion's facing across, she's going to swipe across as we get mobs coming through, and Olag is just a tank there, and I'm going to place up someone behind him. At the moment I've got a Setram I'm going to use up there. Setram's been placed down, and he's going to be able to reach those mobs as well. Okay, but also I haven't got to just stick to my Setram. There are other mobs that I can use as well. So again, Xena will come out and she'll go down there as well. Okay, so there we go. Now Just bearing in mind that I'm going to hit Silas's ultimate. I can put Xena down over there as well. She's going to go past Olag, and then I'm going to trigger off my healer. This all becomes a bit healer intensive, okay? There's a lot going on. So this is where I trigger all my big heals off. I trigger off my big damage with Xena, and then I've got the last, these are the third mobs. One just there and one just that Hex is finishing off there, okay? So once they're done, I can then remove Hex and I can remove Silas, and I can place them with some other piercers facing down the map, okay? Or up the map, depending on how you look at it. And they will clear them off. But you still got these mobs flying down, so when you can remove them, do. I probably placed her down a bit too early. I should have been a bit easier and just left those mobs to fly past and made my healer's life a bit easier. There you go, she took quite a bit of damage there, but Hex can be recalled now, and now I can replace down Ivar, but again, anyone else that you wanted to go down there could go down as well, okay? So there we go. I quite like Vortex because you get that shield out as well. That's quite nice. I think Hollow would be a good fit in there as well with the Rage Regen, so you're going with that. And now, yeah, where are we? 68 out of 72. So we've got the last couple of mobs coming across now. Okay, so that's about it. And when these are done, that's pretty much it. You've got more of an issue using Talia because you can knock mobs around and they go on to a different lane. So as you can see, they're sort of walking past where they wouldn't do that if you used a different tank or a different strategy, okay? So feel free to use a different one, and there are plenty of others you can use about, but we'll discuss those in a minute over what you can use. We're now down to the last one, and it's just a matter of waiting for anything to arrive, or wait for Setram to build up his ultimate, and then you can place someone else down and finish off that mob. So there's Silas. We can chuck him down and we can clear off that last mob, and that is stage 6 3-star. Not easy, but there are plenty of other heroes about that can make your life probably easier, if I'm honest, okay? So the run itself doesn't take that long. It's just a matter of knowing what's coming where and when they're coming and how much time you've got in between phases, okay? So that's that out of the way. Right, let's have a look at the heroes I used, and we'll have a look at some other heroes that we can use instead. Right, so this is the team I've got. Here's Ivar. Again, we can use any Piercer Lord. I think you do want to use Piercer Lord. Getting that extra range is quite ideal for you. If it doesn't do anything special there, there's nothing actually required for him. Silas is just fantastic. If you've got him, you use him. Okay. Sorry if you haven't got him. I have, and I'm actually going to use him. Talion, more used because it's her banner coming up. But you could use any other Pierce or any other tank, any other fighter, and take off any scenario that you fancied using at the bottom there, okay? I mean, you could have just got rid of her entirely, use Xena, and then maybe like a Lord Phineas, Arrogance, anything like that would have done as a fighter. Maybe an Abomination, something like that. Could have worked quite easily for you, okay? So she's used just because she's got a banner coming up. Now, Yugiri, she's a little bit different. We've used her because of this range that she's got, and not so much the range, the width that she's got. It makes taking those mobs out at the top much better, okay? So there are a few like her. So there's her, there's Setram, they're the ones we use. There's the dwarf as well, that dwarf with the old rocket shooter thing, gun. He could be used as well. Idril may well be able to use. Lady Alexandra, if you've got her, you're probably not watching this anyway. So plenty of options or not plenty of options, there's a few options you've got. If you don't clear them off, you have to wait for them to start moving, then you have to place some piercers down going outwards to take them out, and just gets a little bit awkward and makes your life a little bit harder. Hex, yeah, we've got him, so we used him, but he's nothing more than a piercer. That's it. That's all he's there for. Setram's here, the same as Yugiri. She was there just for that width, that breadth of range as well. So if you've got one, just makes your life a little bit easier on one of those sides, okay? If you've got the pair of them, making your life much easier, okay? There we go. That's the reason for these two. Xena. We used her because someone in the comments said, why were you happy about getting her? That was the reason I was happy about getting her. I think she's great for this sort of thing. Instead of putting Talion down on two different sides or two different options, you could have just placed her down and she'd have motored through the mobs much easier. You want a tank? I took this one, but feel free to use a better tank. There are loads of tanks in the game for defenders, and then you want a pair of healers. I used her because she's got sort of an AoE heal more than anything else. If not, I would use Elwyn, would be a great example. Anyone with multiple heals, maybe Sadie, she might get away with that as well. Yeah, and then I've used Vortex again, but that's just for the width, that breadth of healing, so they can cover off the sides. But whatever works for you, really, on covering those off. So any of those healers would have been fine. There are plenty of other champions you can use to make your life much easier, okay? So let's start off with some defenders. You could use a Toreador, that would make your life much easier. And then if you're going that route, that nightmare route, chuck in a Hattie, absolutely laughing. She's got that invisibility as well. She's doing AoE. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Definite way ahead would be using those two, okay? Other archers that we've got, where can we go? Okay, we could use this Archer Lord, absolutely. She's got invisibility as well, so if you fancied it, do her up, brilliant. Again, invisibility, I think that's going to work really well for you. And then also, Marksman, we could use her as well. Now, don't forget, the patch is coming out, and she gets an exclusive artifact to make her permanently invisible, okay? That's going to be fantastic for you. So feel free to use that as well. She would be, I bet she'd be a rock star in that. I think she'd be really solid for this. If you've got her and you've got her exclusive piece of gear, okay, I think she'd be really, really good for you. I do need to level mine up before we get rid of Corridor Glory goes at any point. Now again, I think things like Kagiri will be really good for you. I think going down there, he'd be able to go over to the side as well and take out some of those mobs before they come down. There's only 4 on each side at the end. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic, particularly if you're going that Nightmare Council route as well. I think you'd be doing really well there. Now back to the Piercers as well. Now post the update, remember she gets a buff. Now part of that buff is to do with her first passive here. So it will go up and she's now going to have 150% AoE damage as opposed to 40%, I think it is. It's a massive buff. So you could put her behind a tank, she'd be stunning up enemies, poisoning them down. Nice big AoE explosions. I think she'd be good. She'd fulfill your Archer a Lord as well. So I think she's definitely got a place in there as well. Okay, so particularly if you've got her exclusives, artifact and kit, I think she goes ultimate all the time or something, doesn't she? So yeah, definitely give her a shout out. I think she'd be very worthwhile for you as well. Something worth considering. So that's me. That's my team on how I done it. Bit overpowered. I think over the next couple of days it would drop down, but that's pretty much the concept of how I done it. Feel free to take that. I've given you some guidance on other heroes you can use. Let me know who you use down in the comments below. Always helps out other people coming through. Okay, and if you could give me the old thumbs up, like and subscribe when you're at the door, that'd be massive for me as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all in a video again soon. Cheers for your time. Thank you. Goodbye.